Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living right here in beautiful Fullerton, California. Thank you all for joining us today, here in person and also online. My name is Tomoko Rosas, and I'm a practitioner here at our center. Please join me in stating our purpose statement. We are a loving spiritual community, empowering all to live healthy and successful lives through practicing the principles of science of mind. Few announcements before we get started. Today is the day to party and celebrate Reverend Bill. Yay! With a cake and a potluck lunch. So please join us. All welcome. Thank you all for joining us last week for Lunch and Paint with Karen Thomas. And the beautiful pictures are in the program and also uploaded on the website. So if you know how to click and copy the pictures, you could get yourself your own pictures. But if you don't know how to do that, please keep your program or let me know. Okay, we're working on our summer fall newsletter. So if you'd like to submit a story, please submit. Probably the cutoff will be this week. So you still have time. And as you may already know, Bill Ingalls, our beloved Bill Ingalls, made his transition, and his service will be here at the center on Saturday, August 16th at 11 a.m. Please join us if you can. And we have two guest speakers for August. Reverend Sunshine Day and Maggie Rintara, RScP, will be joining us, and the details are in the program. Wednesday Spiritual Support Group is ongoing at weekly at 1 p.m. All welcome. Unexpected Income Club is doing great, and thank you all for your continued participation. All right, I'm just going to leave it there, and I'll pass it on to Michael and Tommy.
I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When this old world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Join me in knowing that there is one power, one presence, and one divine consciousness. This presence is right here, right now. It is in each breath we take. It's what makes our hearts beat. It's what animates our bodies. This power is the essence of the universe. We are the activity of God on this planet. We are one with the one. It is good to be here. God is in this very room. I know that this service is good and very good. I am thankful and I am grateful for the people that makes this service possible. There are blessings for each one of us. Let us be joyful. Let us open our hearts, our minds to receive today's message given by our beloved Reverend Dr. Bill Salisbury. And just to let you know, we are keeping a high watch for Beverly Braston as she's having surgery. And so it is. My name is Eva Castelo. I have a reading, or the reading, from this book. I think everybody should have it. Live your best spiritual life. Be the miracle you were born to be. So my reading comes from page 129. You are perfect just as you are. We need to accept life just the way it is and just the way it is not. Speaking of accepting it just the way it is, you are a perfect and unique expression of the divine. You are perfect as you are. There is a story about a middle-aged woman who had a heart attack. She was rushed to the hospital and operated on immediately. During the operation, she had a near-death experience. She saw God. And she asked God, is my time up? God answered, no, you have 40 years, 2 months, and 8 days to live. The woman decided to stay in the hospital and have a facelift, some liposuction, breast enhancement, and a tummy tuck. She also had a complete hair color and makeover. She might as well make the most of having lots more time to live. After the last procedure, she left the hospital, but while crossing the street, was hit by a car and died immediately. Arriving in front of God, she demanded, you said I had another 40 years. Why didn't you do something? God said, I didn't recognize you. Don't change. You are already perfect. Accept life as you are. Accept life and know that it is exactly as it needs to be at this time in order to allow your highest and best self to unfold. Here's the last song lyric. This is from Roscoe Flats. No, I'm going to reference the last lyric I'm going to reference. This is from Roscoe Flats. God bless the crooked road that led me straight to here. It sometimes looks crooked to us, but I like to think of it as more of a spiral winding ever upward, expanding infinitely as we travel our spiritual path, accepting life. Question: what if this spiritual awakening stuff is all a hoax, and all we do is make our lives more peaceful and joyous? Accept life. Please don't not use the God that is you. You are the only you, and all others are already taken. Accept life, open to life, surrender to it. Don't be stubborn. Stubbornness has only one positive feature. You always know what you are going to think tomorrow. Do not restrict yourself like that. Do not limit yourself. Accept life in all its glory and beauty and wonder. Accepting life is an inside job. It's something we do for ourselves. And now join me in prayer. In the stillness of spirit, I live in the knowing that my presence brings joy to the world. I create ripples of joy, and I am settled in the stillness of love. I am one with the one. Happiness and joy are inside jobs. They require us to be grateful for life and what life brings to us. True happiness comes from within, from living a life with meaning and purpose. We are responsible for our own happiness. Life is about choice. The choices we make matter. The choices we make every day make up our lives. In this moment, I choose joy. I make the choice to live a life of wonder and excitement. I take responsibility for my life and live a life of spiritual harmony. Knowing this prayer is already answered, I release these words into the action of the law. I let them be, and so it is.
If I should go to pray, what would you do? What would you say? If the Spirit got to me and I found out we could be free, talking about turning around, never taking a look at the ground. Some folks got feet that are dry, some are wet from the tears that they cry. Somewhere back along my road, I was carrying such a dark load. Then the Spirit washed over me, bringing joy to you, bringing joy to me. Voices we hear inside are the wishes that we sometimes hide. When you feel it, it'll be touching you. This is my wish, let's make it come true.
That's Michael Whitney. What a way to start the day. So good morning.
Good morning.
Starting a new month. And the theme of this month, of course, is living in joy. Haven't we already heard that word? And joy is a quality of God. It's a quality of God, which means it's also a quality of each of us, because everything that God is, we are. Maybe just not quite as much of it, but we being made in the image and likeness thereof, certainly joy is one of our endearing qualities. And where do we find that? Where can't we find it? Because joy is all about perspective. Joy isn't something that we find, actually. And joy isn't an accessory. It's not an add-on. It's not like going to a car dealership and buying a car and adding stuff to it, or going to the I don't know, the mall and going into a store and buying an accessory that matches our whatever, our tie, our cufflinks. Do people wear those things anymore?
Yes.
I don't know. But it's fundamental. Joy is a fundamental aspect of our very being. We can not be without it. We can sometimes obscure it, we can sometimes not see it, we can sometimes turn our heads maybe and not want to see it because, well, sometimes some of us just kind of like a little drama. How are we going to enjoy our little drama if we're got our head buried in joy, for God's sake? There seems to be something problematic about that. But joy can be found everywhere. In the darkest hour, in the worst situation, in something that's just, even tragic, joy can be found. And joy is found in that kindness that others share with us in those moments of our need, yes? And in the little glimpses of beauty that we find here and there, bring us a little clip. I want to talk more about that in a minute, but remember, I know this is going to be tough to believe, but at one time, I was a little kid. I mean, I had like 4 or 5 years. And I remember growing up in Vancouver, in British Columbia, and in those days, I mean, behind every street was an alleyway, and that's where we kept the trash cans. And every house had 2 trash cans. One was for just stuff that wouldn't burn, and the other was the incinerator trash can. So periodically throughout the week, people just go out and light the incinerator can on fire. And the trash truck, when it came by in those days, wasn't like a trash truck is today. It had little platforms on either side at the rear, and there were guys standing there. And as the truck went up the alley, they would jump off, dump the trash, and then they had that thing that went over, and put it in the main part of the truck. But it wasn't really my intention to explain to you how a trash truck works. But what I was remembering, what I was thinking about is, when we'd hear the trash truck coming, my God, every kid on the block was in the backyard at the alley, I mean, just excited as could be. The trash truck, and look at those guys, man, they just threw those big old trash cans around. It was absolute, pure joy. Pure joy. And then when that was gone, we turned back into the backyard and looked for like 4-leaf clovers, or pick up the dandelions and blow them, and just find the absolute joy in that, or in the butterflies or the bees that would be floating around in the backyard. I mean, joy in those years came from anywhere and from everywhere. Everywhere. Well, what changed? The world hasn't changed. We still have trash trucks. We still have bees and butterflies and dandelions. What's changed is that, well, sometimes that something within us that was so quick to bring that joy to the surface has been corrupted. It's been corrupted by the conditioning of the world, by the shoulds and the should nots, and the ought to and the ought nots, and the have tos and the can'ts. I mean, it just gets piled on one after another. If you remember, when you're 4 or 5 years old, there wasn't no such thing as can't. There was only such a thing as, well, exactly how do I approach this, and what kind of help am I going to need from mom or dad or somebody, But the joy was just there, it was in everything. And it hasn't changed. Sometimes we want to relive or not live at all the feeling that brings us a certain emotion, right? I mean, sometimes we get these emotions that are not quite joyous, and we want to suppress them. We want to push them down. But kind of, that's like being in a swimming pool or being at the beach with a big old beach ball and trying to push it down under the water. You ever done that? Suppressing that beach ball? It's coming back up. And very often, probably more often than not, it comes up with a splash.
Yeah.
So when we suppress something, some sort of emotion, that's coming back up just like that beach ball is coming up with a splash. So yeah, if what we're looking at directly right now, if the first thing that impacts us isn't joy, we want to maybe try to suppress that, but the fact is, we can't do that. We have to look at whatever that is and find the joy that's hidden within it. Find those little glimmers of joy that can come through in any circumstance, in any situation. And they're always there. And really, isn't life just a series of events? We label them good, bad, indifferent, but really, they're just events. They're all indifferent. They're all neutral. Forget our labels, but when we don't forget our labels and we apply them and we apply the negative labels, then they are negative circumstances. And it's difficult to find the joy. But just knowing that everything that happens, and that was part of the beginning here too, right? Everything that happens is something that happens. And we're included in it. And as long as we're included in it anyway, and we're going to draw something from it, why do we want to draw the negative from it? We can't hide that there's some negative in it. I mean, some things just happen. Stuff happens. But we have to look at it and say, okay, I see you. Oh, but look, peeking out around the corner right behind you. There's that little glimmer of joy. Because somewhere in here, somebody has said or done something or given me a look or given me a remembrance, even a smell from somewhere that brings back a happier time, brings back a joyous time, brings back a feeling. And that feeling is that exact same joy. We can bring those feelings back. And they don't come back as some sort of a neutral thing. A feeling comes back as a feeling. Here's one thing about being human. When you stop and you really get into something that happened before, an experience that you had. Let's say it was an argument with, a significant other, for example. And you sit and you think about it and you think about it and you think about it. Are you thinking about it neutrally? No. In fact, everything that lousy, no good person did at that time comes rolling back full power on us. Because that's what our thought can do. That's the power that it has. But it has the same amount of power to bring back those joyous, happy memories. And when they do, are we better off? I think so. I think Ernest Holmes thinks so. One thing about joy, too, the title of today's talk, Take It or Leave It. No, is that right? Take it or leave it. Joy, take it or leave it. No, joy, take it and leave it. No, take it and or leave it. Who made that up? Okay, it was me. But here's why, in defense of myself, it's like this. Joy is there. Joy is an integral part of this world, of this life, of this planet, of this universe, of that divine consciousness that grounds all being. Joy is a part of it, can never be separated from it. And because we are a part of it also, we can never be separated from it. We're like, at the very least, first cousins. Me and Joy, first cousins. But more like, twins, if we want to be. But we can find joy, we can take it where it is. Or we can leave it. And we can go on pretending that a miserable life is fine for us. Or on the other hand, we can take joy and leave it in other circumstances for other people. Oh, that happened? Wow. I'm sure sorry. But do you remember when? Or look what's coming about because of that. So we're taking joy where we find it, which is everywhere, if we will, if we wish. And we're also leaving joy. We're leaving joy for others. Because the one thing about joy, although it's always a part of us and it's always available, it's always included in our spiritual DNA, it's not right on the front of our minds all the time. It's not right in our consciousness. It's not in our awareness all the time. But it can be brought back at any time. And it's not that it didn't stay. It's that moment that made us aware of it that has passed. Okay, so that moment has passed and we think that joy has passed. No, it's kind of like the wave on the ocean, right? Here comes one, here comes another. We're never without them. We're never without those moments of joy. We're only without the awareness of them sometimes. But when we focus on that joy and we share it with somebody else, it just got twice as powerful. If we shared joy, it's 2 times the amount of joy. Unless I'm sharing it with 2 of you, then it's got 3 times the power. If we're sharing it with 4 or 5 of us, it's got 4 or 5 times the power. There's no end to the power of joy and what it can bring us. Let's just think about our founder, Ernest Holmes, and this book, recognize this book, Science of Mind. Don't we though? Everything necessary we must declare. Everything necessary to the full and complete expression of the most boundless experience of joy is mine now. Know this, see it, feel it, and be it. Do it every day for a few minutes. It's a spiritual practice. I just can't stop emphasizing that enough. It's a practice. It's not a spiritual theology. It's not a spiritual theory. And really, when we think about it, a theology that is not embedded in us and brought out and used and practiced all the time is absolutely worthless to us. It's a useless theology. We can spout all the words and we can sing all the psalms and we can, quote all the affirmations in the world, but if they're not becoming a part of us, coming from us, coming through us from that divine consciousness, from the universe as it is, if they're not coming that way, they're just lip service. And they're not helpful to us. What else did he say? I'm sure there's something else, Ernest Holmes. Talking about how each of us is a full expression of joy and peace and happiness. I am the spirit of joy within me. I am the spirit of peace within me, of poise and of power. I'm the spirit of happiness. I radiate life. I am life. There is one life. That life is my life. Now, we say in this philosophy there's one life. That life is God. want. But if we don't take that next step and say and know that that life is my life now, we haven't embedded it. We're not using it. It's kind of like buying that bright, shiny new toy and putting it on the shelf and looking at it. There's better things to do with those bright, shiny toys. We have to figure out a way, what we call it, we use the term mental equivalence. We have to have a mental equivalent of that we want. We want joy, we want peace, we want happiness, we want forgiveness, we want beauty. We have to have the mental equivalent of it. We have to know what it means. We get the mental equivalent by having it be part of our self, part of our being, part of who we are. R.S. Holmes says, the only reason people, let's go with people. The only reason people are limited is that they haven't allowed the divine within them to more completely express. We have to take it in. We have to absorb it. We have to embed it within us, and then we radiate it forth out into the world as the God quality that it is and that we want to share. And joy is no different than any other one. Joy is very closely related to things like gratitude, forgiveness. We have to be thankful for everything, and we have to forgive those things that don't appear exactly like we were thinking they should at first. Because once we get used to it, and once we see the little glimmer of joy available, we recognize that, well, there it was after all. Silly me, I was just looking the other way. Silly me, I was looking for it to come in the shape of this. Or it didn't, it came in the shape of that. But joy nonetheless. So about mental equivalence, Ernest Holmes says, and he's quoting the teaching of the master teacher Jesus, and he says, the whole teaching of Jesus was based on the theory that we are surrounded by an intelligent law which does unto each as he believes. And what he said was, it must be measured out to us according to our own measuring. In other words, we have to understand what's going on. We have to understand joy, and we have to embed it. We must not only believe, we must know that our belief measures the extent and degree of our blessing. And that's exactly the same with joy. We have to know that it's ours. We have to know that it's exactly for us. That it's not an accident when it shows up. It's something basic and fundamental in our very, very makeup. We go through these series of things that we call opposites, right? Joy, sadness, love, fear, aloneness, togetherness. But it's not like that. We only call it like that because at bottom, it's all about the joy, the love, the community, the beauty. It's all about the God qualities, unless and until we allow something else to take their place, something else to overshadow them. And we don't have to do that. And sometimes don't we sometimes just pretend? And sometimes we say something, and I know, fake it till we make it, right? I don't think that's really that good a spiritual practice for us. Fake it till we make it. Anybody know what a rictus is? Not a word that's commonly used, but a rictus is that fake smile, that plastered on grin. Yet you see a lot of people have that in photographs. You know, or think about the Joker, you know, in that movie. Oh, yeah. But it's like, it's not a real experience of joy. There's no joy behind that coming out. There's no happiness coming out from behind that. There's no mental equivalent of it. There's no experience of it, no felt experience, no shared experience, shared between us and others, shared between us and that divine consciousness. And it has to be that in order for it to be functional. Because we can put on that false smile, we can say those affirmations that we don't really mean and we don't really understand, and we can do that rote prayer. I mean, who amongst us wasn't beat up with it? I still remember all those prayers from Sunday school years ago, but they didn't mean anything. And the smile that went with them didn't mean anything. Because there was no truth behind them. There was no absoluteness behind them. It was just me saying those things that I was told I was supposed to say. Joy doesn't work like that. Joy is spontaneous. It's always there, but it's spontaneous when it comes into our awareness and when we just scream it out, when our whole body just screams it out. You know, listen to me going on. I got one last thing I want to talk about from Ernest Holmes about joy. If we look at love long enough, we shall become lovely. For this is the way of love. God is love. If we gaze longingly at joy, it will make its home with us, and we shall enter its portals and be happy. We just have to recognize it, and we just have to know it's there, regardless of what the outer circumstances look like, regardless of what the initial impression of something is to us. We have to understand that we are not put here to be miserable. We're not put here to suffer. We're put here to live life, to love life, to share life, and to be life. And to be joy, because part of being life is being joyful. So, we're into habits. Don't we love habits? If we're going to like habits, why not the habit of joy? We do it often enough. Even in little small quantities, little glimmers of it, we do it often enough. It becomes a way of life for us because our brains accept it. And we're on autopilot with it. So let's just know this together if we could. Just as we breathe in that very substance of joy, that thought of joy, that understanding, that mental equivalency of joy, as we bring that into our system by bringing it out from that foundational spiritual DNA that we are, part and parcel of, it just expands and it glows. And it's easy to see and it's easy to like and it's easy to share. And it does so much for us when we accept it and we look for it and we find it in every circumstance, even those where it doesn't appear to be at first, because the more little parcels of joy we bring into our life still add up. They add up exponentially. They add up to that point where pretty soon our entire outlook, our perspective is one of joy. We may be hardwired for negativity thanks to the way people lived in this world, thousands of years ago, but it's not necessary today. Today we can look for the positive things, and the more of them that we have, the more we build up within our consciousness, the brighter and safer and more solid and secure and loving this world is. And knowing that this is the case and that this is our choice, we can choose joy just like we choose every other God quality. We can choose this. I just say thank you, God, for allowing me this and for making me aware of this. I do choose joy. And it's just with a heart full of gratitude that I let this choice, I let this word go into that spiritual law, knowing that it is so. I just let this be, and together we say, so it is. So right now it's our opportunity to share our good, knowing that all of our good comes from that one source, God, and for this we are grateful. Thank you for your continued support. It's your support that keeps us a viable center for spiritual living. And for those not in the sanctuary but supporting from a distance, thank you also. And here we just accept and give thanks for these gifts, these tithes, these offerings. Grateful for them and for the givers in them we all bless as we send these blessings off to do their great work in the world with no strings and no conditions. So it is.
Here's a little song by Bobby McFerrin. I invite you to sing along with it. Whistle if you want. Here's a little song I wrote, not really. You have to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy.
Every life we have some trouble.
Yes?
When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry.
Oh, don't worry. No, 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 no.
Be happy.
Look at us. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now.
Got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry.
She took mine.
Be happy.
The landlord says your rent is late. You might have to litigate. I don't know what that means. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Come on, everybody. I'm the soprano in this family. Ready?
Yes.
Don't worry. Be happy.
One more. Here we go.
Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style. Ain't got no crowd to make you smile. Don't worry, I got her. Be happy. What do you want to tell me?
Well, 'cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. Don't worry.
No, 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 no.
Don't worry.
Okay, honey.
Be happy.
Don't worry, be happy, everybody. Oh, you're singing so beautifully. Don't worry.
Be happy. Oh, come on.
I can't hear
Don't
you.
worry.
There you go.
Be happy.
Don't worry, be happy now. Give yourself a hand.
Michael and Georgine Whitney and Tommy Cosentino. And of course the Fullerton Center for Spiritual Living Singers. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So let's just know something together right now, right here. Something amazing is happening through me right now.
Something amazing is happening through me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called love.
It's this thing called joy.
It's this thing called joy.
I am joy.
I am joy.
I bring joy.
I bring joy.
I give joy.
I give joy.
Thank you, God, in me.
Thank you, God, in me.
So it